Hi there, folks. Today was a really bad day, and there was really almost no chance to film outside, so here I am inside. But I've got something kind of cool and kind of dangerous. So I just want you to be very quiet because it's right over there, and we're going to have to catch it, okay? So be very quiet. Now, I thought what we could do is bring along some food for it to make sure we could lull it into a sense of complacency before we grab it. So I brought some food for it. Here we go. Okay. It's right down over here. Okay, there it is right there. There. Don't move. Come here, little stapler. Come here, little guy. Come here. Want some yummy paper? You want some yummy... Oh, I got it. Oh my goodness. What a grab. Did you see that? Wasn't that amazing? I got it without being bitten. There it is. A beautiful little stapler. Isn't she wonderful? Oh my goodness. That is just a beauty. Now, okay, we're being a little bit facetious about it, but you know, it is a really lovely stapler. It's really one of my nicest staplers, and I'm very proud of it. Now, you might say to yourself, what's the guy talking about, and why is that so special? But you clever kids out there who have spent some time in my class will notice that there is something really kind of cool and special about this stapler. And what is cool about the stapler is the shape. The shapes that are used to make it. Now, I've got tons of staplers, as you know. This is one of my nicest because the designer of this stapler took such a long time with it. And of course, the designer of this stapler also was in love with a certain shape. And that shape you see expressed best right here. The sort of blunt front, and then up and over with the curve, and then slowly down, tapering to the back. There's that shape very prominently on the side. And then you see the same shape down here, a bit more squat on the bottom. And you see the same shape up here on the pusher bar, right? And you even see it a little bit in reverse right over here where the hinge comes in, right? So for those of you who might have been listening, a few months ago when we talked about it, this is called the streamline shape. And it was a shape actually made, or it was derived mathematically in the early part of the 20th century, in about 1920 actually, by a fellow named Paul Juret, a European, Czechoslovakian guy actually. And he did some wind tunnel tests in the first wind tunnel that existed in Germany at the time, and he found that that particular shape, this one right here, that sort of blunt front, curvy top, and then slow taper to the back, was the most efficient shape for an object going through space at a high rate of speed, like an airplane or a Zeppelin or something like that. But people looked at that shape and they said, my gosh, it's such a pretty shape, you know, and it's sort of like a futuristic looking shape. You know, maybe we will use it as a decoration on certain objects. So I really love objects like that. I personally think it was a beautiful shape as well. Sometimes a shape just sort of like gets, I don't know, it gets into you. Some people like flowers and some people like the swirl of tree branches and things like that. Other art design areas use those. But this particular streamline shape just got into me. In fact, when I was a kid, sounds strange, I used to draw this shape. Well, that sounds weird, doesn't it? But I did. When I used to draw something, and I wasn't a very good drawer, I would often draw this shape and just look at it. Because, of course, I like cars, and a lot of the older cars use that shape a lot, too. But I want to show you a couple more things. Check this out. There's my lovely stapler, okay? And it just works as a stapler. And you can easily see that's what it is. Now, if you look at the next object in the line here, I'll show you a few more. You'll see a wonderful and beautiful looking object. I just love this one. It's one of my favorites, actually. And it's kind of cool because you can't actually tell what it is until you open it. Anybody have a guess? I'm sure you don't. Okay, look at the beautiful blunt front, and it's got the streamlined lines at the bottom and the streamlined lines coming up and over the top all the way down the back. Two streamline forms here, actually, one here and one here. Isn't that lovely? Now watch what it is. You'll be surprised. You open it up. Come on, little babe. You open it up. There we go. It flips open. And by the way, there's another streamline shape right there. And inside you have a lady's nail polish remover kit. There's the nail polish remover, and there's some cotton wadding that comes out of a special container down in here, which you can recharge. It's actually missing 2 more bottles. The bottles should fit in there. If I find these bottles, I'll buy them someday and place them there. That's what they're supposed to be. So it should be 3 bottles and then that little piece of wadding there. Isn't that lovely? Okay. Here's a lovely shape. Isn't that beautiful? There it is again. The blunt front, up and over, and coming down to the back. What is that? Well, surprisingly, that, when you open it up, is a travel iron. Isn't that amazing? And you say to yourself, where does the cord fit in? Well, look at this wonderful design. It's just so beautiful. You pull on this, the little door flips open, and that's where the cord goes in, right? But when you're done with that, of course, it flips shut. Nice and streamlined, nice and sleek. The handle goes back down for storage, and there it is. Isn't that beautiful? This is something you will not be able to recognize either. I just love it too, though. There's the same shape again. Blunt front, up and over, tapering down to the back. You see it again in the center portion of it too. Quite lovely. It's a button on this side, and it's a button on this side. And a little wire to plug it in. What it is actually is a dictaphone foot pedal arrangement. Secretaries would use this in the old days to stop and start the tape recording machine. That was the stop button, and that was the start button. Crazy. Oh, yes, that's right. Another one. A beautiful device. Some of the parents will know what this is, but I'm sure you will not. Isn't that gorgeous? See the same design? A wonderful Bakelite device with such a beautiful, oh gosh, that's wonderful, nickel-plated cover. What is it? Okay, I'll take off the cover here. There we are. It's a men's shaver. Isn't that amazing? No, I'm not kidding. Can you see it? Unbelievable. Very rare, actually. I'm very proud of this, too. A men's wristwatch from the 1930s. The Bolivar right angle, it's called. Now look at that. Isn't that fantastic? See that? Specially shaped. Just to sort of show that lovely shape on your wrist. And finally, 2 common things. I have them placed on these. They have little poles out the back, so I place them here on these cans just to hold them up. What are they? Just run-of-the-mill, everyday kitchen cupboard door handles. I love them. Look at them. Why do they have to be that shape? Well, the answer is they didn't. But the person who designed them said, oh, I just love that new streamline shape. It's fantastic. I'm going to make my cupboard door handles just exactly like that. Okay. So right now you're saying to yourself, okay, maybe that's a little interesting. Why are we talking about that? Well, of course, the answer is that we haven't done a whole lot of art together since the school shut down. And art's not really our focus. I do understand that. But sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of a change. And it's interesting. And I love your art. And I was sort of thinking that it would be fun to place some of it on display on our Brightspace page. So I'd like you to think about some art that you can do involving shapes. I will talk more about that in my letter to you that you're going to be reading on your Brightspace or your email tomorrow morning. And I want you to follow the instructions and make me some beautiful art, which we can hopefully then display in our class. Oh, by the way, I've even got some books that talk about this. This is one of my nice books. It's all about streamlined design. And I wanted to show you something that I think you'll find interesting. Look at this. That's a little friend. This one here. You've seen that before. Recognize that from the class? I've got one of these too. I don't have it in the class, but that one I've got 2 of in our class. And you've actually used that on occasion, some of you. It's a great little book. I mean, some of you would really, really get a kick out of this. It's all full of fantastic pictures of crazy, crazy things. Toasters. Oh, I used this one just the other day. Streamlined broiling pan. That's for your streamlined turkey cooking. Kitchen devices, meat cutters, air compressors, sanders, drills, irons. So a very, very, here we are back to the staplers again. A very interesting book, all full of wonderful beautifulness. Okay, so like I said, when you start to research something, it usually expands and expands and expands. I began to research this back in 1995. I just got into researching it, and it's just gone crazy ever since. I hope you get into it too, because it's really a wonderful hobby. But anyway, back to art. I will have instructions for you to finish your art, and I'm hoping to be sharing with you very shortly some interesting shapes. A shape you think is beautiful. Thank you.